What the hell was all that about?
Good morning.
What?
Good morning.
Are you having your little... Oh, hold on a second. I knew I forgot something. Just give me 1 second. Bear with me for a minute, I'm sorry, I'm a bit slow. I'm just kind of curious what you meant by that video.
Well,
You know, never said anything.
ironically, the thing is, I make the gate videos for things that I don't want to see anymore. And or don't want to, hear anymore. Like the elevator gate,
Well, I never once in any of my videos, when I never mentioned Zelda's name, did I ever call her a slut? Did I ever tell you to choose between her and me? Did I? Did I ever tell you to do that?
Why are you assuming that the whole video was about you?
Well,
I've also got these new subscribers that are coming to me.
Maybe, okay, maybe it was.
After what happened to me, and they're seeing that I'm friends with Zelda, and they're wondering why.
Who said that? I want to know, because I'm going to give them a fucking hard time.
Just go down your own Facebook page, check out the Della winner's Rhysz conversation with you, and you can see what I was reading when I'm talking with Zelda, and she's posting something saying she's liberated now because it's all out because she put it on a post. She's deleted that now, but you can still see your own stuff, and everybody knows what it's about. Everybody knows what it's about.
Can I interrupt you for a minute? Have you spoken to Zelda lately? In
Not
the last
in
24 hours?
Not in the last 24 hours.
Well, maybe you should.
I should.
No,
I've been speaking with Evo a lot last night.
Listen, I have had to listen to bullshit from a lot of people as of late with regards to this, with regards to people jumping to their conclusions. And I'll tell you something. Della got sick to death of nobody, not even you, Michael, saying anything to Zelda in my defense with regards to this. So let me finish, then I'll let you have your say. Zelda and Della actually get on better than you give them credit for.
Okay.
And Zelda actually appreciates the fact that somebody actually had the bollocks actually turn around as bollocks is an English term. Actually had the bollocks to turn around and say something she needed to hear herself, because I've had to hear it from everybody else. And she was right in many respects. Maybe it was about time.
I am a bit lost at this point.
Yeah, maybe you should be, because you haven't spoken to Zelda, have you?
How often do I need to speak to her to know that I don't want to hear about her sex life at all?
I don't recall Della actually mentioning her sex life.
Really?
When?
Oh, I would say that me listening to the unlisted video and then going to meet the Barking Atheist and hearing that the entire Shayrah's Sex Blog TV was talking about it.
Oh, thank you very much. I now actually got that. I now actually know that. Well, first of all, I now actually know that the Barking Atheist had actually. It was not an unlisted video. It was a private video, listed as private. If you actually go to it, it says this is listed as private. Only certain people can see it. Second of all, I never mentioned Zelda's name. third of all, you already know that a friend of mine was already willing to put her reputation on the line to protect Zelda's reputation in regards to that. So really, at the end of the day, if you didn't want to hear anything about it anymore, just do what Brian did. Ask.
Ask not to hear about it anymore?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Is that too much to ask for, or is that a little bit too much? Or is basically the respect on YouTube literally lost? Or is Della right?
Well, there's a certain game that people play where they like to lay their drama out at your feet, but then they don't want you to react to it the way that you normally would, because they're playing these special games of, oh, nobody really knows about this, only everybody knows about it, you know, under the table from everybody else.
What you're supposed to do is just sit down and say, my life is okay, my life is not shit. No, I've had the shittiest 3 months.
Okay.
The shittiest 3 months ever. If you're not interested in hearing about it, don't fucking comment. And I have never, ever once turned around and said to you that Zelda is a slut. As I recall, your words were, she only has so many holes to fill. Your words.
Those were my words, because I was wondering why you would want to be there when Evo was already there having sex with her and Aldous was visiting.
Because, guess what? I didn't know Evo was having sex with her. What part of this?
By that time you didn't? A lot of these timelines are getting really fuzzy with people.
Well, maybe you should ask Zelda why that's being fuzzy. I mean, she's not being dishonest about it. The timeline is pretty much clear. She's already admitted that she lied to you, lied to everybody else about my knowing about Evo. She's already admitted that.
When you're saying that nobody went to bat for you, are you saying that I didn't promote you as a possible alternative to Evo or something? That we were all supporting Evo because we were friends of Evo?
No, this is what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
No, let me finish. This is what I'm saying. First of all, I had to find out the truth from Brian. I was told by Brian that they were engaged. I was also told that Zelda said that I had issues with romantic involvements between you and Evo. Between her and Evo. Romantic involvements I didn't even know about. So how could I have issues with something I had no clue about? She's already admitted this. She admitted this in the thread, in the Facebook thread, when Della said, you not only lied to him, you lied about him. What do you think she was talking about? Zelda should not have to defend herself with regards to that anymore. It's over with. It's done. My issue is not with what she has done. My issue is with shit that people like you and people like the Barking Atheist, Shayrah, and Aldous has produced as a result of this bullshit.
Well, let me tell you my issue with you right now. Your response video, Coochie Pop, it would have had a bit more teeth if I didn't already have to defend myself for having that off-color joke, because the day after you and I have a conversation where you say, please don't tell anyone we talked, you go right to Brian and tell him that I said that. So I say to Brian, yes, I said that. And I say to everyone, yes, I said that. So everybody already knows that I said that. It would have had a lot more teeth if you hadn't already shopped it around to try to lose me some friends with Zelda and her friends.
I said, don't tell anybody that we talked after our first conversation. The second conversation you said that, I was fucking offended. And yes, I did go...
Why didn't you say anything to me when you were offended by it? Why did you go shop it around to other people? Why did you shop it around to other people instead of telling me personally?
Do you know why?
Why?
Because Zelda says you're a shit stirrer, and if I was to say any more, I didn't know what to say. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know how to deal with you at that point. I really had no idea how to fucking deal with you at that point.
So your decision was to go shop the quote around and see how other people might feel about it.
I told
that was how you deal with someone that you don't know how to deal with.
I told Brian and I told Zelda, because I don't know how to deal with you. When Zelda says that you like to stir shit, sometimes it's best for me not to say anything to you and ask other people what I have to deal with you.
Well, if you're wondering why after that point I didn't go to bat for you...
If I was wrong, I apologize for that.
If you're wondering why I didn't go to bat for you after that point, at that point I decided, you know what? He's shopping around this quote trying to lose me friends. It really seems like you and a few others thought that maybe I was in the running for Zelda and you're trying to eliminate competition. So I decided I didn't want anything to do with it.
Excuse me for a minute, what's the laugh? Now you're saying I'm the paranoid one? What's this about competition?
It seems to me that anything bad that can be said about anybody else that's a friend of Zelda has been said by everyone else. You know, and it seems like a lot of people are racing to be with her.
What? How the hell does that work out?
I don't know.
Well, neither do I.
Even when people know that people are there with her in a sexual manner, they're still wanting to be with her.
Well, then that's their issue, not mine.
That was your issue.
No, actually, no.
That's when I brought up that off-color joke to try to bring it to your attention that she is with a guy, she's living with one guy, she's with another guy, and you're wanting to be in there.
Where did you get this impression that that was my issue?
From the way that you acted by shopping around something that I said to you.
Yeah, because what you said, as far as I'm concerned, was fucking uncalled for.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think what you said was uncalled for. At the end of the day, what do you think?
Why didn't you have a problem with it then?
I did have a problem with it. Why do you think I went to Zelda with it?
You had no look of disgust on your face. You did not say something to me.
Because, as I said before...
You closed the conversation congenially, and then you go shop around my quote.
Because I don't know...
Out of context, by the way, of me talking about Evo and Aldous already being there. I have to explain the context to people so that they think it's funny. And you know what? Some other people have thought it was funny. Because I've had to preemptively say, yes, oh, by the way, I said this, and you might hear it from someone.
But they didn't, did they? The only two people that heard it was Brian, the other one who said it. So at the end of the day...
Yeah,
Brian,
I'm the one that said it.
Brian and Zelda had, and as far as I'm concerned, Zelda had a right to know what to say. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you are a shit stirrer, you're trying to cause shit between me and her. Fair?
No. When you ask for some confidence in talking, and then you want to go around and talk about the things that are said in confidence, leaving me holding the bag, you know,
well,
and then expect me to go to bat for you.
You want to know something? You have my apologies for that. I misunderstood you. You see, this is the difference between you, me, and the rest of fucking YouTube. At least I try and look for a reason to forgive somebody, or at least I'll try to look for a mistake I make.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else just likes to jump on the fucking bat, like fucking Shayrah, who knew from the fucking beginning what was going on.
I'll say this to you, Josh. I understand that this is love and war.
What?
And you guys, you know what? For all I know, Evo is the front runner right now. But who knows what happens in a year from now, you know? And from my perspective, it's one of those things where you just have to let it fucking happen and be friends with people at the end of the day. And I understand that a lot of this fucking shit is just happening because people really feel like they need to fucking fight to be with Zelda.
Well, I don't see why they need to. Zelda is, you know, at the end of the day, Zelda is, you know, do you want to know the irony of yesterday's little banter between Della, Zelda, and me in public? You want to know what the irony is? We get them 10 times better than we did 6 weeks ago. You know what the fucking irony is? And you know what I think is really sad about all of this? It took one woman a single day to solve what nobody else could solve in 6 fucking weeks. And I think that there's a lot of butthurt about that.
And I think it's still turning up things right now as we speak.
It should have
your post on my Facebook made me just look down at the other posts on my Facebook, and yeah, this is bringing out a lot more. But hopefully, at the end of this day, we won't have to hear about Zelda's coochie pop.
It should have been yesterday. It was
should have been a long time ago.
It should have been yesterday. Yes, it should have been a long time ago. And you've got to, you know, and at the end of the day, my issue is not with who she is with. It's with what with the rest of you have done with it since. You, listen, you've already said it yourself. You all jumped to fucking conclusions. And you decided to jump on a bandwagon. Aldous went and did exactly that. Shayrah went and did exactly that. Everybody jumps on a fucking bandwagon, and I think that Della said it, and I think that Della's words ring true. Anybody else who has a fucking opinion about something they don't know anything about should either shut the fuck up, because it's not a mature bone in any one of us.
And I'd say that sentiment is in my video. That I don't really want this shit jumped on me at all to hear any portion of it, because it is that fucking messy.
How about, hey Josh, you said this about me, you should have come to me about it first. Please don't bring me into this again. Just curious. I mean, really, yeah. I mean, everybody says they're so understanding. Everybody says that, yeah, everybody says that they don't want to be bored into it. And then they go around and make a private video that everybody, make a public video that everybody can comment on, that everybody can comment on. Exactly where do you come
the publicness of my video, I think, is very telling by looking at the comments, how many people already know what this is about.
Yeah, and you know why? Because of a Facebook post fucking yesterday.
Really? You think it was yesterday?
And half the issues weren't even brought up by me, were they? A little discussion with Shayrah by her own fucking admission on a public block TV. As Della said, it wasn't me who brought it out or mentioned names or anything like that. It was one of you lot. Get it yet? It wasn't Zelda, it wasn't me.
I like your comment on my video. That's...
Well, yeah, it was well said. But to be fair, it wasn't me and it wasn't Zelda. You said it yourself. It was Shayrah.
I'm gonna say that even before that, it was out. And people have been spreading it around. And I can talk to half the people in my Skype contacts, and they've known for a very long time. And things being private is a fucking farce. You know?
Tell me, who's in your fucking contacts?
And
I'm very curious about this.
I would say that I've had talks with this.
Because in my little contact list with Brian, other than you, Brian, other than you, Brian, and Zelda, nobody else in my contact list knows what the fuck this is about. So it's obviously not my circle, is it?
I'm looking down my list right now, and I can tell you the people that I've had conversations around this. IG, DeathOfSpeech, Friendo, Lasoyo, Rational Roundtable, Wolfwing, Atom Bomb, fucking Shayrah, fucking Koki Pirate, even Daranak. You know,
it's kind of ironic. You guys have this little circle about when you converse about yourself as to what you think you know what's going on. You kind of have this little conversation between everybody else, but you never actually involve the people involved. Fair?
Almost fair, because some of the people involved, maybe not you, and that's why you're coming out for the worst of this.
I know, because
some of the people involved have been dropping their drama about this, and this is why I don't want to know about her coochie pop anymore.
You want to know how I know why half the people already know? Because Zelda tells me who Shayrah tells. Do you think Zelda has been hiding things from me all this time? No, she hasn't. She's been honest and upfront about this fucking shit. And she's just as about as fed up with this shit as everybody else. She's as about as fed up with the ArseniCigarettes shit as with anybody else. But the unfortunate drawback of all this is that the only people we can just talk about it with is Zelda and myself. Because not one of you lot has actually the courage to come and talk to me about it. At all.
Having not known you before any of this,
I
didn't really think it was my place to go track down her fucking boyfriends to find out things that I don't want to fucking know in the first place.
Then why did you add me to your friends list in the first place? Because this shit came up.
You wanted to talk.
Yeah, I noticed. You wanted to talk, so you wanted to chase this particular ex-boyfriend down.
I remember having Zelda drop her personal problem on me, say that there was a fucking post on your fucking Facebook.
Yeah,
I wanted to see it.
To do with, this is the thing. Zelda and I had this little conversation about this several hundred times. It's also in my Skype conversations that it's about issues that do not relate to her. They even mentioned the issues that do not relate to her. At the end of the day, that issue dropped with everybody else. And yes, I turned around and made one post where I said, yes, I was lied to by an ex-girlfriend of mine, but didn't mention any fucking names. I'm entitled to do that. I'm entitled to say to my friends on Facebook that I've had a bit of a shitty week as a result of what's been going on. I have a right to do that. But if anybody has an issue with me or what I'm doing, it usually makes more common sense to turn around and say, Josh, I think you're being an asshole, to my face.
I'm going to give you this one. I didn't really feel like I was given the courtesy of you telling me to my face that you had a problem with that quote. But, doesn't mean that I should have been, just as bad myself.
Just give me a second. Hello? I'm afraid it is.
Two messages. LOL. charger. Do. Fucking YouTube troll police. Troll police. Mark has spam, Tommy Parky. Ha ha ha. Welcome, reality dictates.
Anyway, where were we? I mean, you got my apology for that, and you got my sincere apology for that. But you've got to understand I was in the emotional state back then. But at the end of the day, you still there?
Yeah, I just got to do.
That's all. But at the end of the day, all I hear from you is a group of people thinking that they know the bullshit that's going on. Coming to assumptions that this is about me being butthurt about EvoGen when it's not. It's got a lot to do with ArsenicCigarettes murderer, which was absolutely bullshit in the first place. And I don't care if it's just Aldous. My emotions are not something you play games with. I wouldn't play games with anybody else's emotions. And to be fair, on Zelda, the only and Zelda will actually argue this as well in my defense, the only person who's available to talk to about it is her. To be honest with you, you guys have dumped this on her. Because you won't come to me. Not you personally, but you won't come to me. You won't talk to me, you won't ask me what the fuck is going on, you won't even have the courage to turn around and say to me I'm being an asshole to my face. You don't. It comes to Zelda's doorstep. Because I hear it from you, but I don't get to have a say.
One thing about that I'm not getting now, I think calling you the murderer of a channel is a little bit dramatic, but do you not think that it was the situation between you and her that made her want to do that? Her feeling like she was being called out for playing the field and dating multiple guys at the same time, and she felt like she didn't want to deal with the fallout.
I said that.
I'm saying that. That's my view of what happened.
You're exactly my fucking point.
Okay, so what is your view of what happened there?
I don't care. It's immaterial.
Okay.
It really doesn't matter. That's my take.
Those of us who have been friends of her for a while and have given her multiple shout-outs and helped her build that channel feel differently.
Yeah, me included.
Okay. So why don't you care what the reason was that her channel went down?
Yeah, because and to be, oh, for God's sake, why can't you just leave me alone, people? Back in a second. Because the whole situation between the two of us was absolutely wrong. And the only way she felt at the time she could handle it was to close her channel. And there were countless times when I was telling her that was the wrong thing to do. If you don't want to attract attention to yourself or this situation, you're just going to make it worse. Mm-hmm. And as I recall, I was the first amongst you people to actually promote her channel. So yeah, I felt very offended by what she did.
Why is it that when I tell her exactly how to reopen her channel that she still continues to not want that channel?
I don't know. I've literally told her the same thing. She says she wants to do something new. I don't understand her reasoning, but she has her own personal reasons behind it. I don't understand that myself. You're not having I'm going to have to sit down and have this conversation. Sorry about that, Mike. What were we talking about? No, I don't understand her reasoning either, but I think she keeps telling me that it's just because she wants to do something new. That's her argument to me, and I assume that's her argument to you.
What I'm saying here is that if all of these people are feeling this way, that you are the murderer of her channel, then why has she not corrected them?
You ask her that.
I will. I will make a point of that.
This is the argument.
But to me, I'm one of those people who is not being corrected.
You wanted an answer, let me explain.
Okay.
Thank you. She said that she did correct it in her first video on nicotine and cigarettes. And I said to her, unfortunately, nobody heard it. She was trying to be as subtle as she could. And in her own way, she did. But as I kept on pointing out, nobody heard it. All it's doing is everybody's listening to the drama and the little voice whispering in the wind. Because that's how YouTube works. Again, not a mature bone in YouTube. And she did. That's exactly what she said. Nobody had anything to do with it. So don't tell me that she didn't. Do you want to go back to her video and actually hear her say it? Or do you actually want her to go out and go out in public in an awful...
You know, I do now want to go review her video.
I think
but I think maybe it is the case that even in the face of her saying that, people aren't believing her and they're her friends.
Exactly my fucking point!
Alright, we'll check this out. Hold on. Is it still up? A dirge is appropriate?
Appropriate.
Oh.
That is no one's fault but my own. But I think this may be a good thing.
Yeah.
It's time for ArsenicCigarettes to die. I've caused enough damage with that name and with that persona. It was time. I probably won't be making videos for a little while, at least not regularly. If something comes up that pisses me...
So, I just heard it again, and I gotta tell you, it does kind of seem like the exit speech of a CEO who's been given the option of resigning rather than being fired.
That's what I told her. The problem is you have to understand that unfortunately Zelda doesn't know how to express herself the way it should. And I was in a situation where I said, look, I'm in a bit of a bad situation. I cannot turn around and say, Aldous, your definition about the murder of AlduSvalor is wrong, because if I do, that implicates the both of us. That puts you in a situation, that puts her in an embarrassing situation, and me in an embarrassing situation. The fact is, nobody listened, and you said it yourself. People are more interested in the drama than they are in the actual facts. If any of you actually care about Zelda, even if you don't fucking care about me, you could have at least come to me and then made your damn conclusions. But you didn't. Not one of you did. Even Zelda went out of her way to tell you guys to lay off. Why do you think she did that? Either it's not to push me into a corner or to bully me, or because she actually cares. And you know what? I'm going to go for the latter. Because it seems to me as if I give Zelda a little bit more credit than the rest of you do. At the end of the day, the only people to blame for the shit that's been on her doorstep are the cowards that don't come to me. As Della said, as for the rest of you assholes out there who don't know, who have an opinion about shit you know nothing about, shut the fuck up. But you didn't, did you? And I don't mean you as in you personally.
Well, I'm telling you now. Short of having you, her, Evo, and Aldous and the Phantom Line in the same call or in the same room, I don't want to hear any of it now, because I do feel like I get told different things in different company, and I am not happy about that, and especially for you, for your sake, I am not happy about that, because I do feel like people are being disingenuous to your face and telling me a different thing outside of that, and I don't have time for it, really.
And I would have to agree with that. But at the end of the day, video like that after a video that Inventor Gorilla's just posted up, as we all know, wants to call shit. Didn't exactly have the case, did it?
I just saw his video as a result of your Facebook post.
Yeah, I
haven't seen it yet, but I wonder what's in it.
I haven't watched it myself. I flagged it, and I make no apology for that because it is A, harassment, and B, personal. Something that both Zelda and I would rather have avoided. And do you know what? Like I said in my comment to him, he's just jealous that the fact that somebody solved this issue that nobody else could. You see, now we know what the real issue is. It's not Zelda and me, it's the rest of you.
Okay. Go on. I do still think that a lot of this has been brought on by people not saying the same things in front of people that they will do out of their company. And the main person I am blaming for this is Zelda. Because she's the one that had secrets from people, you know, and part of that was her playing the field.
Well, you've got to admit that when she told you that I knew about Evo when I didn't. I mean, how the hell do you expect me to react to that? When somebody turns around and says, I'm butthurt, of course I'm fucking butthurt! No joke! When I have to listen to Shayrah going on about why there shouldn't be rules in society, and then turns around and shouts about how people shouldn't beat their kids to death, I find a little bit of a double standard there.
Okay. Not seeing where that is part of it, but I'll give you the double standard.
Shayrah's had an issue with me when she knew what was going on from the very beginning. I find it very rich that somebody should speak to me about my moral standpoint.
And as far as Shayrah goes, I think she should be a little bit more understanding about the hardships of somebody who happens to have multiple people on the line. You know, given that she was lucky enough to find an open relationship where she could operate from, she had to have experienced something before that and know what it's like.
Do you want me to tell you Della's and my story? I'd be more than happy to.
I don't even know who Della is past seeing her comments yesterday. I don't even know if she has a channel.
She doesn't want YouTube.
Okay.
There's a reason why she doesn't make put a face on Facebook on video. She's more popular in certain circles, and she doesn't want to be recognized.
Well, and I imagine that Della Winters is a made-up name because it's an awesome name.
No, it's not. I can prove that to you as well. She is my first girlfriend from when I was 14 upwards. And we've been best friends for a very, very, very long time. There was once an incident in the anime community in England when I got custody of my daughter. And my ex-wife decided it would be a good idea to run away with the money I made in my business and then accuse me of stealing it. Well, the police were involved and she was charged with fraud and stuff. But for the longest time, my name was bullshit in the anime community over there. And nobody would stick up for me. Ironically, Della was a subscriber to one of my works. And she received a letter from my ex-best friend at the time explaining the situation. Now, my ex-best friend also slept with my ex-wife. He said that he made a claim to the anime community that he had no way of contacting people about the situation. And she said, nope. You sent me a letter telling me that the magazine would be behind and nobody would be receiving their subscriptions for for at least a couple of months. She produced this letter in public for everybody else to see. And my name was cleared. She's the only person on this entire planet that I would trust with my entire life. And she's also Jenna's goddaughter, Jenna's godmother. And I'm going to see if I can get her on camera this week, this Wednesday.
No, your kid is Jenna.
Yeah.
There was a friend suggestion that said Lucy Raven, and I was like, wonder if that's any relation to Ashe's Raven.
No, my surname is Clark.
Well, I thought maybe, somebody might... Hulk Hogan's daughter is Brooke Hogan, but neither of their names is Hogan,
No, my daughter's Jenna. So,
figured maybe she had a internet persona.
No, she's in trouble, actually. She had a Facebook account I didn't know anything about.
Yeah, slap her wrist because she should have a MySpace. Facebook is for college-age people who are trying to hook up with their old high school friends that they didn't have a chance to have sex with while they were in high school.
Yeah. Well, J-Dub tried to befriend her. That's how I knew about it.
Ugh.
Mm. See, at the end of the day, the issue is not between me and Zelda. The issue is between me and everybody else. Unfortunately, Zelda's the only focus that I have, and Zelda understands this. And she's not happy with it. If you want the pressure off Zelda, then you bring the issues to me.
Gotcha.
Because who else have I got to talk to? None of that is. Remember that. So in hindsight, would you say that the video was a little out of taste?
My video? Intentionally so, yes.
Well, I'll go for intentionally so, as long as you like my video response.
Yeah. Still, would have had more bite if it had not come out before. I was like, heard that. Now, Inventor Gorillas, I'm pretty sure, is going to upset everyone except him.
Well, it's been flagged.
Yeah.
I make no sense about that.
see.
And I think you saw my video. I think you've seen my comments on it. He's just jealous that it's over.
He's jealous that it's over between you and her? Or between him and her?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What?
They don't get on.
Excuse me?
I'm confused. What does Inventor Gorilla come into all of this?
I just misunderstood what you were saying right there.
No, he's just jealous that the fight is over.
Oh. And he still isn't on speaking terms with her.
He isn't?
I don't think so. She's made some horrible ponage of him before and said, I said the last time that this was last, time I'm going to make a video to him, and I was wrong again. She made a horrible ponage of him. He even got the flowers wrong in that ponage.
Oh.
I remember that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, she's pwned him a couple times.
Oh dear God. So now we know. So now we know why he's really doing this.
Actually, I won't put it past anyone involved in any of this to not have something for Zelda in their heads. It's
Well, you got my Skype, and you can share my Skype with everybody else. If they've got something to say, they can come say it to me.
Now, I'm looking at your Facebook, and this is one of the things that was brought to my attention, was that there's a thread started that says, oh great, so now everybody knows about you two, now that's a sick parody.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get that would be anything about Zelda from that line. It's further on into it.
Yeah.
You know?
I make no pretense of it. That was actually designed to get back at Zelda. Don't get me wrong, she knows it too. I mean, seriously, one of the things that did upset
this thread here that I'm looking at, not all of it that was from you. This person that I'm talking to in my video is an amalgam of everyone. And looking at it, I'd say the large post from your friend Della Winters actually inspired part of my video, and the other part would have been Brian being tired of all this, and when someone yawns, you yawn back. It's the same reflex. Like,
well, she wasn't entirely. She was kind of a little more. She's kind of a little more upset with the fact
that and the posts that are missing from her, like off of her Facebook. Those were part of it too. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, you want to know why she deleted that post? She got a family member signed up as a friend of hers.
It's amazing. It really is.
Why?
No, if people cannot be, say, dating in public to family, then how can they not see that there might be something else out there? Something else going on.
Well, this is what got me. When I was having my conversation with her about who knew about me when I was dating her, she mentioned you. I'm kind of like, okay, so let's find out the truth. So I asked Brian. She even mentioned her mum knew about me. I'm kind of like, That would be great. What if I called your mum and asked? I mean, every one of her posts and private PMs to me, up until her being discovered, was basically, I have nothing to worry about. Remember, I will always love you. Never doubt that I love you. Was the last thing she said to me before I found out.
Wow. It's.
You think this is? You say people think this is about me.
And I can see the other side of the coin there. If she thought that you were about to find out, you know, if I was playing the field myself and trying to, you know, make sure someone wasn't hurt, I might say that in a weird way. And it's like, my memory, as far as the chronology of it all, really doesn't go back more than a month because of you know, me going off to a funeral and all that and just forgetting everything. And
yeah.
it only came back when I got the PM from you for that video, and I was playing it in my ear in my truck as my cousin Courtney drove, you know, and then we stop at Whataburger with the Barking Atheist, and we talked about exactly that, you know, and how he had just come from Shayrah's Blog TV, like, you know, said, I have to go meet Agent of Doubt at Whataburger because I drove through his town, and then he went right back to that Blog TV. That's where he was going back to, because they all hang out on Blog TV.
It's nice to know that everybody has been played for a fucking fool in this affair. But guess who comes out with egg in his face?
Well, I got to tell you,
it would be nice if somebody would make an unrelated video saying the next time somebody jumps to conclusions about an entire situation, maybe it would be better to go to the person involved, instead of making a Blog TV about it. Then again, I can't exactly go up and challenge Shayrah and his 6,000 subscribers, can I?
I think the biggest thing that's disadvantaging people is not being out in the open. That's part of my motivation in getting it out in the open, that it's a gate now. I don't want to hear anymore because it's elevator gate level. It's all babies are atheists gate level. It's that bad. And with people keeping certain things, saying that certain things are secret, and then the next thing I hear from the next friend that calls me on Skype is that exact same thing, because everyone already knows, but it's a secret. Nobody knows. You know? That's the problem.
Yeah. This is the problem. This is the problem. From what I've heard, the two people I've told, and the many of people that Zelda has told, because she said it to me, I've told everybody who already knows. And they're like, if you told everybody who already knows, why the fuck is this shit still going on? I mean, seriously, I'm still speaking to people like you who thought I knew about Evo before the shit even became public, when I didn't. And Shayrah, of all people, has no business talking about my shit when she knew that I was being cheated on in the very beginning.
Yeah, and how many people were given that video, you know, by you, and then how many people saw that video again by a troll?
Yeah, how many people were given?
And to think that
I've given the list out to the people who were given, and it was just basically some people who already fucking knew.
So, what I'm getting at is, after both, why the pretense of, oh, people don't know?
That's what I want to fucking know.
And the only thing that the pretense of why...
The pretense of that nobody knows is because it wasn't me who said anything. It wasn't Zelda who went full public on a blog TV about it. Was it? It was people who should have known fucking better. The people who started this shit in the first place were the people who could have at least kept it from going anywhere else. Like a public blog TV.
Yeah. And
Della was right. It wasn't me who brought it up in public. It wasn't Zelda who brought it up in public, who mentioned names in public. It wasn't me who mentioned names in public. It was one of her friends who did that. Some friend. What exactly was the end game with that? What? Cause Zelda more shit?
That was what Evo and Brian were suspecting.
Well, guess what? It worked. I hope that Zelda's friends, inverted commas, are proud of themselves. I mean, seriously, what kind of a friend is afraid of what you're going to say to them over the phone that is going to say to them over the phone that has to be discussed in a 6-hour journey in a car? What kind of a friend goes on blog TV and starts mentioning names? Just curious, because I'd like to know this.
So glad I haven't run a blog TV in so long.
I mean,
between me and you, though, there is something else. In the description of my video, I put no names named, and that was directed at you. That part of it, because I do think that the pretense that nobody knows, and yet everyone knows, that's the problem.
Yeah, I know that's the problem.
And whoever's lying,
I know that's the problem.
Yeah, and whoever's lying can continue to lie under behind the scenes because nobody's out in the open.
He turned around and said to me that I said that somebody is a very shitty person. That's what everybody else will see from that, and you know for a fact that I didn't. I take issue with that. In fact, I think you're going to have to admit that considering the circumstances, I at least tried to be as fair as I could over it.
From my perspective, there was a video before I went on my trip. I don't know which video it is now. But I thought it's about Zelda. Right away.
Yeah, and the problem is nobody even fucking asks me what it's about.
And then I'm on my trip, I get this I'm listening to your video, and I'm like, oh, this is about Zelda.
Yeah.
And it ends with, that video ended with, no names named. And I'm like, everybody knows. Everybody knows.
I did a video about 2 weeks ago.
That's the one that I was listening to in the truck. And
So there was absolutely no need for you to turn around and make a video making a comment like that when you could have at least come to me. You got my Skype, you got my Facebook. All you've really done is just basically make it 10 times worse. I mean, I'm really.
I'd say the illuminating comments on my video, showing how many people know, are better.
Listen, I don't really.
That
care
is
how many
better
people
because
know.
you know what? It's out in the open that these people know.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
Matter.
Because whoever's keeping this secret and saying, "Oh, don't spread it around," but no names named, you know, and all that, that just keeps this shit going. Just.
And I will listen. I will tell you why. First of all, that video was private. It was private to a few people. So when I say no names mentioned, I say no names mentioned to the people I'm mentioning in the video. Just because some troll goes out there and mirrors it, doesn't mean I'm talking to 23 million other viewers on fucking YouTube.
Gotcha. And what I gotta know is why was I selected to hear that video?
Because you were somebody who knew about the situation, and it was fair for you to know what I was saying. That's why I sent it to Zelda. Because I can't just go around saying shit about something or a situation without somebody knowing, without somebody telling me I was mistaken on a certain point, or without saying, or without saying you shouldn't have said that. How fucking unreasonable do you think I am?
I don't really know you to know how unreasonable you are,
Well,
but I know that you are in a position that, you know, I still am not convinced that the whole love triangle octagon thing is over, okay? And I'm still waiting for some dust to settle before I will come to the table and be friends with people, because I keep hearing a lot of stuff, and really, you know.
Listen, I'm doing my utmost to convince myself that it is. For my own sake. For my own sake. Really, I am. Yeah, I love her. I won't deny it. I am still very much madly in love with her. And yeah, I'll admit, I don't like either. I fucking hate his guts. Because he stalked me before, and now this is the man that she is currently saying that she's decided to be with.
He stalked you?
Yeah, there was an incident with Bionic Dance and me a long time ago, and he decided to put his nose into it. So he made a video response to me and blocked me, so I made a comment to him on my on another account that I had, and said I only watched 2 seconds of the video, which I did. I didn't watch the video at all. And he took offense to that, and he still kept going on and on and on with me about it. Bionic Dance and I moved on since then. 3 months down the line, he's still making videos about it. Not getting a single response from me except for one. One response where he did that shocking pushes you, Ashe the Raven. And I made a joke, you know, and I said, actually, and I thought it was actually very funny. And I told, you know, and I made a video saying, the video is hilarious. Please go watch it, you know, please go watch it, have a laugh, and subscribe to it. Because EvoGen does make good videos. That's the only response I gave to him. After that, the videos were taken down. That's how I deal with trolls. That's how I deal with trolls. If you if you want my honest opinion, no, I don't think that this love triangle, quadrangle thing, or whatever it is that's going on is over. But I think the best thing, the healthiest thing for me to do is to act as if it is. But nobody else is making it easier for me when they jump to fucking conclusions as to what my motivations are. And I'm still surprised to learn that, I must admit, I was still surprised to learn that you still thought, even now, that I knew about EvoGen and her before the situation even broke out. Because I didn't.
Okay. I have a lot of conversations with a lot of people who are still on that page.
Well, then I would appreciate it if you could correct them on that.
I will say that I don't know when all this lines up, because really in my head,
yeah,
some of this seems like it happened before, and some of it, like, of course it didn't. You know, this has been months. This is gate level. That's why
I think the problem is
leaving it out in the open. You can tell everything that happened because there's no secrets, and it's easy to follow. It's when people keep secrets and lie. And that's when it's really hard to follow.
It kind of grabs up with you. You see, the thing is,
George not being Irish, I have no idea when that revelation happened, but for a long time I thought he was Irish and came to the States just to beat her up.
Do you know how I found out about that? Della told me, because she told her, so that's the first I knew about it. I mean, you told me what your assumptions were. And then she tells Della that she lied about him being an immigrant. I kind of go, well, that kind of clears that up then, doesn't it? You see, the problem is this, is just come fucking clean. Because my problem is that I'm in a situation where I could bury Zelda in her lies. But to be honest with you, it could be an act of vindictiveness.
You know what? As vindictive as it would be, you know, at this point, she's closed one channel. Doesn't have much to lose as far as a name built with her channel now, and really, you know, it would probably be her saving grace if you did, because I'm telling you, living without the secrets and the lies is so much easier to keep straight in your head, especially when you have your own real life, you know. And coming back to a story that changes ever so slightly each time you hear it, it's hard to keep track. It really is.
I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. Because to do so, probably, you know, I'm in a catch-22 situation. If I turned around and said, this is what she said, this is what she did, and this is the actual truth, then I'm burning a bridge. As much as I don't trust her for what she said and what she did, I still respect her. And I think I deserve at least a little bit of respect from her friends for not going as public as I have done. Because there are things I could say that are 10 times worse than they actually are. And let's face it, when that video went public...
Josh, I gotta tell you, respect for not going as public as you have, it's not coming from me, because the way that I see it,
You're probably right.
The way that I'm seeing this is, by you not coming forward, you're actually being second chair because you're not coming forward. You know?
I see your point. I just
assert your place, you know? Because the only reason why she's able to have, you know, a relationship with you and Evo and everyone else is the secrets. Meanwhile, she's tasting cat food from the Phantom Lion on his breath. So, the octagon grows. What the fuck? You know? So.
I'm sorry. I'm just... You're probably right. I'm probably being too noble for my own fucking good.
We have discussed now that the secrets are the problem, right? If you're being strung along, I'm seeing it as your fault. I really am. Because the secrets are keeping you strung along like that.
What do you suggest then? I would like your advice. How do you think I should go about it if I do hear this? I'm sorry, because I don't know what else to think, what else to say. I guess I'm just blinded by my own emotions.
I can't make all the words for you, but I could say to you that the next time you're asked to keep part of your relationship with her a secret, don't. You know, there's other people in this world that think they're a lot closer to her than you because, you know, every part of your relationship with her was secret.
Can I ask a question of you?
What's that?
Could you at least tell...
Are you alright, man?
No, I'm not. No.
Alright.
Could you at least tell some of your friends what I told you? Ask them to at least come to me and ask them from my side of the story. And I will tell them everything.
Hold on a second. Here we go.
And who be this?
This is Dar.
Dar? Dar?
Yes, this is Dar.
I don't think I've met Dar. Or constructively.
If he answers.
Better.
Well, he better, because he just said, "Are you there?" to me. Like, okay, it was 8:07, so maybe he isn't on.
Do you mind if I record this just for my benefit?
Go right ahead.
Thank you. I just want to, you know, because like you said, I think I've kind of probably reached that stage where I have to cover my bases at this point. Is there anybody else you know who would like to listen?
Actually, I was just pulling him in just to tell him that there was more to the story so that you could hear me tell one person.
I would agree, yeah. Hold on, let me see if there's anybody else in mind. Brian already knows. There's DeathOfSpeech.
There's Friendo. Let me check my comments on that video, because let's see. Piece of Pinge, Noob. Noob would have been good if he were still on. And Godless.
Yeah, I've got DeathOfSpeech here. I'll add him to the call.
Okay.
Okay, how do I add DeathOfSpeech to the call? I don't know how to add people to calls.
You don't know how to add people to a call?
I'm not very... Oh, add to call, there we go. Because Skype has changed.
I get you.
Everything's confusing. Oops, Zelda's online. Damn! Let's try that again.
I brushed my teeth.
I'm sorry about this.
I only had two other options, and neither of them would not be volatile, so... There is Brian, though.
Yeah, he already knows the whole situation. I think, to be fair, he's heard enough.
Yeah, he doesn't like it laid at his feet anymore. That's where I am getting that part of it. I know.
He already knows that Zelda lied to me about lied to him about Evo and me. I don't think he needs to be told again. Okay, let's try that again.
So the guy that's making the spoof channels, be it Tommy Parkey or whoever, has just made a Mr. Together for Pussy channel.
Oh my god. That's big,
and on the Mr. Together for Pussy channel, Atheist Ozzy has said, "Thanks for subscribing." So, he's making the rounds, he is.
Oh well, it's out there. I can't look what I can do about that now. I'm still trying to get him in. Can you add him? I'm having trouble with that.
Who? Brian?
DeathOfSpeech.
Oh.
I hope he answers. Please answer. Hey man.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so hear me.
Yes, we want to kind of talk about this situation that nobody knows about, but everybody knows about.
Okay, hang on. Maybe I need to fiddle with my own stuff here. Okay, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Can you hear Michael?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we want to talk about this thing that everybody doesn't know about, but everybody knows about. If you know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, yeah, I've seen both of your videos, and neither of them make sense to me.
Okay, Michael, I think you should explain that like I asked you to.
The reason why we brought you in here is so that you know that I'm not saying with my video or now that Ashe is a bad guy or a bad guy for anything that's happened. This is a big, love is war kind of deal, and we are all sitting down at the end of the day and being friends. You know, this is nothing like.
Okay.
Okay.
That's basically what I want you to know. Is that.
My understanding of the chronology of events is that you knew that you think that I was aware of Evo before the shit hit the fan.
That is the ring thing that Brian let out to you. The way that you found out. It's the day that happened. I have no idea right now in my head when that happened in relation to when Evo was visiting. You know.
Well, what happened was I said to Zelda, "Hey, I'm free this weekend. Want to come up?" No, George is leaving, and he thinks that you're coming, so he's keeping an eye on the place. I said, "Oh, okay, fair enough. I'm not gonna get you into trouble." Saturday, she makes a video with Evo and Aldous there, and I'm like, "So hold on a second." So I'm like, "Hold on a second. You told me that you were going to be on your own all week, and now 2 people are at your house. One of them has travelled over 1,000 miles to be there. What's going on?" She sends me a PM telling me that neither of these people are a threat to me. I shouldn't worry about it. I always love you and never doubt that I do. We have a conversation and I ask her who knows about us, because as you probably are aware, we've been keeping our relationship a secret.
Mm-hmm.
She says that Brian knows about me. She says that AgentOfDoubt knows about me. She says that her mother knows about me. She says that gives a list of people who supposedly know about me. So I said, okay, I'm going to get to the bottom of this because something doesn't ring true. I asked Brian, what do you know about Zelda and me? I know that you two are very, very good friends. Anything else? And that you had some issues with the romantic involvement with Evo. I'm like, what romantic involvement with Evo? What issues with romantic involvement with Evo?
Mm-hmm.
He said, about their engagement. Their engagement? I didn't even know they were a bloody item. And that's when the shit started.
I'm assuming that we were talking about arsenic cigarettes.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, the problem is my issue is not with what's happened since that became public knowledge, since that came out, since I started to know about it. My issue is not with that at all. My issue is with the fact that everybody's talking to Zelda about what's going on. Nobody has ever once come to me to find out what my problem really is. And everybody's jumping to their little conclusions, making their little comments, making their little videos, making their little accusations, and not coming to me about it. And of course, I can't talk to anybody else because Zelda won't let me talk to anybody else. She says don't talk to them. She tells them don't talk to me. So everybody is jumping to this conclusion that I was supposed to have known about Evo when I didn't.
Yeah, I got to tell you, man. If you want to come to me, you should. Anytime you feel like it, no matter who tells you not to. You know.
Now I've got to deal with this Shayrah shit. I've got to deal with this Shayrah shit who knew what was going on from the fucking beginning in the first place. And I've got to deal with Barking Atheist who thinks that I'm jealous because I was the other man. I didn't even know I was supposed to be the other man until I found out that she was lying to me. Does everybody understand why I'm upset now? I'm not upset at Zelda per se. I'm upset at everybody else for not asking me what the fuck's going on. She didn't just lie up to me, she lied about me. And I don't know whether I should be going public with this or not.
Well,
I don't really understand exactly what happened. I'm sort of beginning to kind of get the impression that, well, there's been like kind of a little romantic thing and something didn't work, or
no, what happened was Zelda asked me out in March. Zelda asked me out in March, while she was already still in a relationship with Evo, which I knew nothing about.
Okay, well then that sort of okay. I have some advice for you, Ash. Regardless of how disappointed, how upset, how betrayed, how angry or undermined you might feel, never, ever, 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 ever discuss, publicize, whatever. Don't get screwed over and tell. Don't even. I mean, at this point, I would just even say, take your video down. Don't discuss it.
I'm in a situation now where it's already been discussed by Shayrah on a public fucking blog TV, and everybody has this
That doesn't
opinion.
mean that you need to add to it. And I'm gonna give you some advice right now from personal experience that basically no good can possibly come of it, and not for other people, but for you personally, from your own introspective perspective. In a year from now, it will be better for your own peace of mind if you are able to sit back and say, yeah, I didn't fuck that up.
Well, I'm doing the best I can. The problem is my issue is not with what she did. My issue is with everybody else coming to the conclusion of what I supposedly have done. My issue is that I have videos on YouTube before I even said anything about what was going on, accusing me of being the guy who murdered ArsenicCigarettes' channel, accusing me of being butthurt because she dumped me for another guy. Well, I don't know how to point this out to you. When you've been lied about and lied to, of course I'm going to be fucking butthurt. What the hell do you expect? However, the other thing is, I'm trying to put this into words. The other thing is, it doesn't help when people are basically still spreading this shit when it should have been dealt with over 6 weeks ago. I didn't bring this shit up. I was put into a corner where I had to explain to my friends who are asking me what the fuck is going on in the best way, in the only way that I could. You see, the irony is, here I am sitting by myself in a fucking shelter because I've been beaten up by my ex-girlfriend, and having the rest of my life all around to, and nobody to speak to. And yet, look, there's Zelda speaking to hundreds of friends who already know about the situation from her fucking perspective.
And I gotta tell you, man, if there's a secret, all we're ever gonna hear is her perspective.
Yeah, that's all we're gonna get.
And this is very strange for me to tell a guy this.
Yeah.
Really, normally it's the guy that's playing the field with multiple women, you know, and having, you know, them all find out about each other. That's the way it normally happens, you know, with my friends And then I end up still having to be friends with someone who, you know, I've been friends with his girlfriend for months, and then he's got a new girlfriend, and the old girlfriend I have to, you know, delete her from Facebook. Stuff like that.
I had a boss that was juggling 4 girlfriends at one time, and everybody in the shop had to be mindful of how to answer the phone. Yeah, all of that. And the problem was that they would periodically